All right, here we go. Another episode of TDM Talk. As you guys can see, I got a very special guest in the building. We just met, my friend Dove. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Man, I'm good. I'm blessed. I mean, it's rainy day today. The weather is, like you said, ugly. But
Yeah.
here we are.
Yeah. Here we are.
When we got to do something, we got to do it regardless, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking about. I wasn't feeling too well last night. I was like, "Oh, am I coming down with something?" And I thought to myself, I got too many things to even try to cancel or anything. And I
Really?
thought to myself, like, when you work, you
Mm-hmm.
have your full time job and you
Yeah.
work, and it's like, oh, you can call out when you got your own stuff. Ain't no calling
Ain't no
out.
call. Ain't no days off. Ain't no calling off. Ain't no clock either.
No.
People don't understand that though. People think that when you have your own thing, you can kind of do what you want, or you have all this magical free time. But it's like, no, it's actually the complete opposite. Your your day starts, and then it's like, so that was for me yesterday. From the time I got up until about midnight last night, just all day,
Going.
all day. I got home and I still was playing with the new laptop that I got, trying to set that up, and but here we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we connected through Nicole
Yes.
of
Yes.
the Houston Hottie Social Hour, who we had a couple weeks ago. I want to say, really dope person, individual. I could see how y'all can. I'm sure. How long have y'all been connected?
A little over a year.
Really? How? What's that been like?
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Like I considered her to be one of my close friends at this point.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we talk a lot. And the reason why I consider her to be a friend is because we go past just business, right? So we
Yeah.
started out collaborating, but at this point we collaborated and we make money together. We do all kinds of things
Yeah.
together. So I'm constantly looking for opportunities to work with her and same, right? And she always like plugs me for certain things. And we were on another podcast and she was like, Dove, why don't you come with me to this? I think
Yeah.
it'll be great. And so, and she's actually asked me to help her with HotieCon. So I'm going to be helping her with the vendors. And
Okay.
so we're always looking for opportunities to collaborate because
Yeah.
we're very like-minded in that way. So
That's good though. I mean, to be able to have the personal and a business relationship with someone is not easy because you try to tend to not mix the whole business with friendship or pleasure, so to speak, right? Together because the lines get blurred or can get, I guess. But I think when you're on the up and up and you communicate with each other, you know what I'm saying? I think it's like, okay, it's cool because there's a lot of people
yeah.
I'm really good friends with and we do business together.
I think communication is definitely like the key, right? I mean, that's a it's a platitude, of course, but it really is important because I do a lot of collaborations with different people, and I feel like 2025 is my year to collaborate with other businesses. And so in order to do that, sometimes we work with product to product, service to service, or barter.
Yeah.
And then there's some times where we're just like paying each other, so it really depends. But I appreciate all the relationships and collaborations that I have with other women, including Nicole.
So we talk about the businesses. Let's talk about the business you do. Well, one of the things you do because I see you've been published, and you're
Yeah.
an what is it, award winning
Yeah. Entrepreneur.
entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to talk about that, the winning the award thing, because I mean we've won some awards for the podcast. Actually, if you look over there, they're like right over there. Y'all can't see them, but
Nice. Yeah, I like that.
yeah, we got our
That's
little
very
awards.
classy.
Yeah, it
Very
is.
nice.
Yeah, so
Congratulations.
no, thank you and congratulations to you
Thank
too.
you.
That's a good thing. I saw some videos, of you accepting, going up to speak and I think that's dope though. Like just
Yeah.
to be appreciated, right? To be acknowledged in that manner.
Yeah.
So what was that like winning those awards?
I was very grateful. I was tearful actually because while I've had an entrepreneurial spirit and I've had other businesses, but I feel like this is the business that fits the most. It's been the most successful in such a short amount of time, and it doesn't feel like work, right?
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
had a business before where it was like, I really don't like doing this.
Yes,
But
I know what you mean.
but it was lucrative, right?
Yeah.
Like I was making great money, but I was like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
But this is the business just fits. And so I really have only been running Virago Lux Skincare for about almost going on 2 years, almost. And so to have been recognized, in a year and a half as Entrepreneur of the Year,
Man.
that was amazing, and it was from Houston Hottie's Social Hour. And so of course everyone voted. And I was nominated first, and then everyone voted, and it just felt so like I was just so humbled because I was awarded by other women who are entrepreneurs. And so they saw fit to award me.
So basically, you were voted by competition because they could have been in that same running for the same thing, right?
If they were, sure,
Yeah.
yeah. But there were different categories for different things,
Yeah.
And she's going to do it again, I'm sure. But a lot of the social groups that I've noticed in Houston, they do have their awards because they want to recognize folks. I was very, very blessed because there are some people that work for 10, 15 years as an entrepreneur and never get an award.
Man.
So I was in tears, I was very humbled by the whole experience,
I think the first time we won was through broadcast because we won awards with Broadcast Houston and Latinx Hip Hop. And actually this year with Latinx Hip Hop, we didn't even announce it or tell anybody, go vote for us or nothing. We did absolutely, and we ended up winning, which means that people see the name and they voted for us regardless of us having to ask people to do it or whatever the case. So that was humbling right there because it was like, damn, y'all really, really rock with us. You know what I mean? Like, y'all really support us.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to be like, hey, go vote for me. And then, of course, your friends and some family, and I say some because, not everybody supports. And that's tough, too.
Yeah.
But
I just did Entrepreneur of Impact. I was nominated for that.
Okay.
I did not get into the top 5. I was number 6, so I just missed it.
And what is that, though? Like Entrepreneur of Impact? Like, what does that mean?
So that was a contest, sort of competition in which you would get a $25,000 business grant, an article in Forbes magazine, and a mentorship with Damon John from Shark Tank.
Yeah.
So I did campaign for that. I was like,
I would
y'all,
too.
I did little videos and I was like, y'all, can you do some videos for me? Like if you want to,
Yeah.
And so everyone was super supportive. I had people vote for me. People were showing me how much, because you can vote for free or you could have donated or you can pay. Now, before I even entered it, I wanted to make sure that first of all, this was legit. And so I had, reached out to some people who kind of knew. And so they did confirm, like, yes, this is like the same press release company that my company uses. My best friend was telling me about it. And so between knowing some of that, I was like, okay, it's legit. And the money was going to a nonprofit. Okay. So I was like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Again, we didn't make it, but it's okay. At the end of the day, like, I felt so blessed that people were supporting. They were voting constantly. I saw people who were paying almost every day, sending me the receipts. I didn't ask for the receipts, but they were like, look, we want you to know we are supporting you.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that is so amazing. Man, and just the experience was feeling. So it's like just humbled and blessed, really.
No, that's good. And that you are blessed. I mean, because like I said, when people believe in you and want to see you win, they will help you win.
Yeah.
And there's no feeling like it because even today, like with things that we've had, people have donated computers to us or, just things helping us out with like just anything really. And they believe in what we do. And I love that because support like and it comes from people you probably just met or never even met too.
Yes.
We actually had someone last year give us $1,500. It was somebody that followed us on TikTok.
Wow.
And we were posting that we were looking for sponsorships and donations for the podcast because we were actually moving studios. And my Venmo account, I just got a notification, $1,500, and I was like, wait.
Blessed.
I double take.
Of course.
So then I'm like, I look at the name and I was like, wait, she's from TikTok because I don't think I have her on any other social media pages. Sure. So I go over there and I was like, hey, thank you for that. Even then I was skeptical because I was kind of like, maybe she meant 150. She accidentally pressed a 0.
Right.
So I'm going to wait to see if she reaches out. I was like, I accidentally sent, pressing. But no, she.
Wow.
And to my knowledge, I've never met this young lady. So I appreciate her for sure.
That's amazing.
It was a blessing, yeah.
What a story.
Yeah, so, I think when the time comes, the right people will be there to fill whatever need or gap you might, have business-wise or anything really, to be honest. So like with your business, right? Tell us what it is and what it's about.
Okay, so we are an all-natural, vegan, 100% organic, handcrafted skin and beard care company. So it actually started because of my own skin.
Yeah.
I'm from New York. I'm from Brooklyn, and I was I've been in the Bronx and kind of all over New York. And so when I moved here, my skin just was like, what is going on? Because there are 4 seasons in New York, 4 true seasons. And here there's like 2 extreme seasons. You got really hot or really cold, and a couple days in between, maybe a couple weeks. That's it.
Yeah, it's pretty much just hot here.
Yeah.
You know?
So in the hot weather, my skin was like, what is going on here? And I know that it happens to a lot of people who move from,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, from, you know, 4 seasons to just a very hot climate.
Yeah.
So I tried just about everything. I was breaking out and I had acne scars and all the things. And I tried some really great high-end products. I tried some old classic products from like Abuela's time. I tried everything. And if it worked, it didn't work for very long. So I was like, you know, I really know what I really need. Yeah. I need things with aloe. I need things with vitamin E. And the products have it, but it's such a small amount. It just wasn't really making an impact on my skin. And so I was like, I'm just going to make my own stuff. And I've kind of always been that way, where if I can't find it, if I can't figure it out, I'm going to make it myself.
Yeah.
I did it with fashion. Like if there was like a skirt and I was like, Dad, can you buy me this skirt? And he was like, no, I went and made a skirt. So it was like those kind of things that it's just me, right? Yeah. So it took me some time because I knew what I wanted. I knew what I wanted it to do. I knew what I wanted to smell very good. And I wanted to, you know, make it myself. And so it took me about a year to get to a formulation that I really loved. And then I went on Instagram and kind of said like, hey, this is my secret sauce. This is like a before and after. And it was just, you know, a serum in a plain dropper bottle. And people were like, oh, send me one. Send me one. I was like, okay. So I'm thinking about it. I'm like, well, it has to have a label because I have to know what's in it. I have to have a company. What happens if they want to order again? And I had all these questions like, how are they going to order? So they need a website. I need a tax ID. I need an LLC. I need all of these things. And I literally built that business in 30 days.
Wow.
30 days. From by that time, I had an LLC, website, bank account, business bank account. I had it all. And then, you know, in that process, I was like, well, I need to have a beard care line also. And so I developed a beard oil that I really love the smell, and it's ambiguous in a sense that, you know, anyone will enjoy the smell, and it doesn't overpower your cologne when you have it on. It doesn't smell medicinal, and it also has great results, you know? So it's not just, let me just put this oil for shine, but it's also helping your skin and the skin underneath your beard, and your follicles get very healthy. So for beards in particular, it strengthens, it helps with beard itch. I got some for you, don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's with a purpose. And so I decided that when I was developing these formulas that I wanted everything to stay organic. And so all of our ingredients are organic. And then we like kind of hit the ground running with doing vendor markets. And so our first year, last year actually alone, we did 65 vendor markets.
Nice. That's busy.
Yeah, very busy. Yeah. And I also have my full-time job. Yeah. And then, you know, my husband has a catering business of which I help him with that as well. And so it's busy for us, but we make it work, you know. And I carried the business for about 2 years with just 2 products. Yeah. Pure Essence Face Serum and Pure Essence Beard Oil. Okay. Everybody kept asking me, well, when are you going to come out with something else? What, do you have this? Do you have that? And I was like, no, just 2 products. That's it for a whole year. Yeah. Because I didn't want to scale too fast.
Yeah, of course.
I feel like sometimes we tend to think, well, if this is not going well, it's because we need more. And you start to develop all of these products. And I wanted to do it slowly. And so now it needed to make sense, right? So now I developed a toner and then a face bar. And then for the beard collection, there's a beard bar, a beard moisturizer, and a beard oil. So you can get the collection, or you can, you know, buy
it individually.
Exactly.
I know what you mean about the whole like scaling back some, because we tend to get excited about things. Myself, and I'll say that. I've always told this story in other podcasts where when I first started, I had a mock picture of you know, a shirt with my logo on it. But I didn't physically have any. And I posted on Instagram, oh, I want one. All of a sudden everybody wanted one. I'm like, damn, I don't have a shirt. I don't actually have them. I'm like, well, they're coming soon. But by that time they forget or don't even want it anymore or whatever, right? So that taught me to kind of like, okay, first of all, slow the hell down, because you going 100 miles an hour and not really having, you know, a plan. Well, but then once you start doing that, you're like, oh, I got to get these other designs. And it's like, nah, just
Yeah.
Kind of set yourself up first.
Yeah.
And make sure you're steady before you try to tackle the next thing. But I think that's the entrepreneur in us, or the hustler in us, or the marketer, whatever you want to call it. We're always like, what's the next thing? What's the next thing that I want to do, or I want to sell, or whatever, right? So I think that's very key that you said that, because I think there's a lot of people that are just starting out business-wise as well that watch us, and they don't know these things. They want to, because I talked to some of them, talk to some of you out there. You already know who you are. They're over, they haven't even really set their feet, yet, but they're already, okay, what's the next move? What's the next move?
Yeah. And I don't think there's anything wrong with looking forward.
Yeah.
But then, you also want to make sure that you have yourself planted, right?
Yeah.
So my idea was, with the serum and the beard oil, I wanted people to love it so much that they will trust it. And then when I came out with something else, they would trust the next thing without even knowing what it was just
Smart.
yet. And so I really pushed the serum, and everybody absolutely loved it. I have a really high return customer base, which I absolutely love. People subscribe as well. So they're like, just take my card and just send it to me every month. So we have that on our website as well. And so when I came out with a toner, a lot of the makeup artists and a lot of beauty professionals loved it. And now we have a face bar. A lot of estheticians love it, right? So it's, and then when they're like, well, now I just have to get the whole thing.
Yeah.
That is exactly what we wanted to do by doing it slowly.
It's important to
build up.
Build it up, build the trust.
Yes.
In your product, in your brand, because I always tell, and we deal a lot with a lot of artists too. We're like, you as an artist, you're a brand yourself, so you have to take care of that brand, and you can't go too crazy, because then it's like, oh damn, and then you tend to kind of ruin your image a little bit.
Yeah.
And then they don't trust anything else after that. And
then let's be real, right? We have to be open to feedback.
Yeah.
What happens if that first product isn't great? Fix that first before you move on to the next one. So, and I think as entrepreneurs, we can be very, very like, this is what I want, this is what I'm going to do, but you have to open yourself up to feedback.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of listening to my customers. Like, I didn't always get it right, meaning like the beard oil, for some people, they felt like it was a little too strong at first. I said, you know what, that's a good point. Okay. And so I scaled back, and then I continued to keep it natural. But I scaled back in certain ways so that it would still have the same qualities. It didn't lose quality, it didn't lose effectiveness, but I was able to tone down some of the smell. And then there was someone that said it did smell medicinal at one point and had peppermint in it, so there were certain things that I just had to move things around. And I said, you know what, they have a good point. You have to be open to that feedback. It's the only way to grow.
It's the only way to grow, because there's people out there that I talk to, and when I give my feedback or advice or whatever, I can tell they didn't receive it. Yeah, I could tell it bothered them, but I'm like, well, one, either you asked me or we're just having a conversation.
Right.
And as a friend, or business, associate, or whatever you want to call it, I'm telling you what I think.
Right.
And of course, you can take it, not take it, but you can't get mad at it. I think you do gotta take it and kind of like, okay, well, maybe they have a point.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what keeps you honest, right? You got to be open to that.
I always tell people, like, I don't want yes men or women around me. Like, if I'm tripping, or if I'm wrong, or if my idea sucks, please tell me. I'm okay with it. I don't have a problem. I have other podcasters that'll tell me, yo, you need to work on this or do this, In the beginning, I was always doing the, and without realizing it, though. And it was like, damn, you're right. I'd go back and watch the video, because I hate going back and watching myself.
Really?
Talk. I don't know why, but I hate it. I mean, I watch them, but I hate it. I watch it to kind of see what I messed up, or I should have did this.
Yeah.
But again, with timing, as time goes on, you got to get better. And if you're not willing to take that constructive criticism or advice, you're going to be stuck in the same position. You're not going to grow.
One of the things, so I have a sales and brand ambassador by the name of Deja Gay. She's fabulous. Okay. And so we do vendor markets together, especially the big festivals, right?
Yeah.
So we've done a lot of training together. She's really mission fit, amazing, really believes in our products as well and uses it. Mm-hmm. And so after we do vendor markets, we do what's called glows and grows. And so we'll pack up everything, we get in our cars, we're on our way home, and we talk about it. What can we grow from?
Yeah.
Glows and grows. no's. And then we literally critique each other very honestly and say, well, I love the way you did this, or, you know, a customer asked for that, so I think we can improve upon that. And it's this really honest conversation that we have. And we're still very kind to one another, but it allows us to remember for the next time and then pick up on those things and those no's, and it just sharpens us and makes us so much better for our customers.
So I'm glad you said that, because when Nicole was here, we also picked on the vendors a little bit about, you know, pet peeves that we had.
I could talk about this all day.
No.
I am writing an ebook about vendor markets. Okay, y'all heard it here first.
Y'all heard, hey, we got the exclusive. I love when people come here and give us this exclusive news. It's dope.
I am writing an ebook specifically regarding vendor markets.
So after you said that, the glow and grow thing, I was like, that reminds me of when I'm at events and I go around and check out the vendors, customer service, some of it is non-existent.
No.
You walk up to the table, they just look at you.
Waiting for you to come to them.
They want you to ask or whatever, instead of getting up and saying, hey, how can I help you? Hey, how you doing? I'm so-and-so. What can I help you with? You know, or hey, look, this is what we got, you know, whatever. So many of them do not say anything. And I will literally walk, just kind of, you know.
Then some people do the opposite, where they're just like hovering.
Yeah.
You got to find a balance.
You got to find a balance. I was just going to say that. There's got to be a balance, because, you know, I don't want you hounding me either, you know.
Right.
But it's a way. I worked in retail before, so I know the kind of like how to do it, because I like to put myself in the position on both sides, being the one working and also the customer, like you said, so you kind of know what to look for. Because I'm like, if it was me, I wouldn't want somebody just follow me around the store all day, like, oh, can I help you with something? Can I help you? You sure? You know, and you get some that do that, but you know, so I think a lot of vendors need to work on that, just with the whole, hey, how you doing? How can I help you? You know, hey, if there's anything you need, look, I'm right here. You know, if you're busy, of course. So yeah, I'm glad you said that, because I don't know if there's anything else like pet peeve wise that you want to bring up. Give us one.
I have a few. From what perspective, though? As a vendor working with organizers?
As a customer.
As a customer walking to a table.
Yeah.
I would say one of the pet peeves is, that lack of customer service. And just like, how am I supposed to be excited about your products if you're not?
Oh, I like that.
I literally, whenever I have a vendor market, I'm playing music that's hyping me up.
Yeah.
I'm playing motivational videos. I'm playing, you know, because I got to get the art of the sale right, you know, and I have to make sure I'm excited about my product. Of course. So when you come, I have a welcoming face. I am approachable. I have this, I don't know if you've seen pictures of my setup, but it's quite grand.
Yeah.
It's
one of those, very intricate. It makes you want to go over there. And like, let me go see what's going on, because this is hella dope.
Yeah. You know? And I want it to be Instagrammable. And I understand that I'm asking you to put something on your face. So I want you to see that I have thought of every single detail. And that happens right here with our boutique. So I don't even say we have a pop-up or a vendor market usually. I'll say we have a pop-up boutique, because that's exactly what it's designed as. And so when people are just kind of sitting there is one thing. And I guess like sometimes working with vendors too, like there's some that are super supportive, you know, like you can make space. Sometimes it could be really tight and you can figure it out. And then some don't want to work with you at all, you know, or you're like struggling. I've seen people try to put their tents up, and I'll stop what I'm doing just to help them, because I put up so many damn tents. I can build any tent at this point. I've literally put tents up in my living room just because I don't want to have that struggle. Anyway, so there's that. But I think we just, as a small business, as entrepreneurs, period, we need to lean into customer service heavily, because we have that advantage. No one knows the owner of Clinique personally, but you know the owner of Virago Lux Skincare. So I'm going to take that to my advantage and say, what can I get you? Do you need anything? What can I recommend? You know, so if I can be kind to you, and then you buy into me as a small business, right? Because I understand that I'm in a $1 billion industry. Yeah. You can go to Walmart, Target, of course, Sephora, Ulta, for whatever it is that you want. So if you decide to shop with me, I'm going to give you the best experience you can. Oh, no doubt. Even during an unboxing experience, I take the time that when you get your package package, it feels like you are unwrapping a gift.
I love
because
that.
I want you to feel special, because you make me feel special. You support business like me.
Exactly, yeah.
So I want you to see and feel that with everything I do. And so I think that if we as small businesses can, and even service providers, can lean into customer service, I think that is going to put us so far beyond big business.
Yeah, I agree.
And but continue that when you do grow, right?
Yeah.
Like continue to lean in. I think T-Mobile is probably one of the best customer services I've ever experienced, because they lean into customer service heavily.
I agree.
Why can't we do the same? I know it's a lot, but that's part of it.
Yeah, so if you want to grow and get, to like a bigger level, you have to have that, because all the successful companies have that. You know, I mean, you go to Chick-fil-A, how do they treat you?
Exactly.
I love going there just because I know they're, even sometimes have a conversation with the youngster that's, work out there. I just went yesterday. I was like, man, it's cold, and they got them out here, and they still smile on my face. How can I help you? How can I serve you? What do you need? Any condiments? Whatever. And it's an experience, right?
People are going to remember not just you. They're going to remember how you made them feel.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I like to think of it as anyone who's listening, who is an entrepreneur also, if you go to a restaurant and you have the food and it's fabulous, but the service wasn't great, you may not go back because you didn't feel special. But if you go to a restaurant and the food was, but they treated you like a king or a queen, and you felt special and you felt valued, you might give it another chance.
Look, you ain't lying, because I know how long my drink been sitting there empty before they ever came, before they ever circled back around to ask me if I needed a refill. And I'm sitting there eating. I'm like, yo, I'm thirsty. And I just be seeing her walk, or, them kind of not doing anything. And I'm like, well, you already don't have that many customers. So I can name a few restaurants, but I ain't going to call y'all out. We're going to leave it at that. So tell us the differences, like, with the markets and things like, and we spoke about this on the conversation we had on the phone about the differences in New York and in Houston, like how, I know you said something to the effect like there's not really a lot of room to do things like that over there, or they even have things like that, or they're like in bigger, well, I'll let you tell it.
So yeah, in New York, I feel like, since moving here, I've been able to flourish because there's so much more opportunity here for small business. In New York, there isn't, just geographically, not a whole lot of room, right? I was just talking to Sean about this the other day. We went roller skating for date night, right?
I saw that.
Yeah, we try to have date night every week. And so I was telling him, like, damn, I haven't roller skated so long. They just don't have them in New York anymore because there's no space. And so when you're talking about big festivals and things like that, yes, you can go to Central Park or Prospect Park and you can be a vendor, but it costs thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars. So small business doesn't usually have the opportunity to, participate in those, such as here in Texas, where you can find, in Houston, you can find some of the smaller folks doing it, but, or the smaller organizations, all the way to the big organizations, or festivals. Because we've done Houston Reggae Fest, we've done R&B in the Park. So we've done these really big festivals. And I've also done church bazaars. I've done, I did salons and salon suites,
Them church bazaars can be something.
Listen, I made so much money at church bazaar. I said, listen, y'all call me every year. I'll pay y'all in advance. I am coming every single year. Because you just never know, right? But I would say, like, the vendor market stuff, like, and this is where my ebook is coming in. It's like, please be careful of these scams. That is the newest hustle. The newest hustle is, I want to have this event and I need money to pay for it. Let me get vendors. And so you have all of these vendors, and I think it's a great opportunity. It's a great thought in some cases, and then some cases you realize it's just a scam. And so you have to really vet the organizers. And some make sense, and some don't make sense, right? Like if you're having a 3-hour event, and you have a full agenda for the guests, and you're charging me $200, that doesn't work for me. Especially considering the price point. You've busied our guests. Where's their time for them to shop so I can get my money back? And then I shouldn't have to get my money back. I should make profit. Otherwise, I'm working for free.
Not only that, just the 3-hour window. I mean, hell, it usually most events that first hour it's people setting up or nothing's going on.
Nothing's going on because people are late.
Yeah, people are
Yeah.
always like, and
Yeah.
trust me, I know that because I know some people when they perform, because we'll have artists at our events and they don't like performing first because like nobody's really there. I mean, we have some people, but it ain't like how it is later in the evening. But yeah, we try to kind of give us a 5-6 hour window. That way, there is a good flow of people. But no, I totally get that because I've had vendors tell me we just did an event with so and so, and there was nobody there, and you end up losing money because you make, especially those that make food or things like that. That what are you gonna do with it? If you didn't
Yeah.
sell it, what can you do with it? But eat it or throw it away.
That's right. With Sean's catering business, I was gonna say one, we really focus on customer service. So he cooks everything from scratch, but I'm there, in front of house, so to speak.
Yeah.
And so, I'm constantly making sure that people are getting the best customer service.
Yeah.
But also when he does pop-ups, we have to be very thoughtful about where, right? My product, if I don't sell, it's more of a waste of my time, and
Yeah.
if anything, right? Or I shouldn't say waste, because every pop-up, every vendor market, you can learn something.
Correct.
So I wouldn't say waste, so I apologize. But if I'm not making financial gain from it, I have to be able to try to figure out who am I networking with. I guess I'm just getting good content. Something is happening. I'm going to pull something from this. I got to get something out of this some way, right? But for him, because he has food and he cooks fresh every day, what does he do with that food? So most of the time, if we don't get to sell everything, we'll box it up and we'll give it out to the homeless and unhoused. But he has a different product. So he has to be very thoughtful about what he's making.
I think that's so hard, though, the food thing, because I've had people ask me, well, how many people are you expecting? I'm like, a million. Like, I don't know. What do you want me to say? Like, I can't.
Yeah.
What I expect is not realistically what, I can just tell you what we've normally had.
Right.
What normally shows up. It might be that, and it could be more, it could be less. But I think our vendors do a pretty good job of gauging how they do it, because most of them sell out. So, and I don't know how much they actually bring or whatever. But yeah, I just see people walking around eating, and I love that. But I know the food industry has got to be tough because, like you said, you don't sell it, then what are you gonna do with it other than maybe, like you said, give it, which I think is very a noble idea. I think that's dope, and I think a lot of you guys that do food, should do that, or bring me some. Look, I'll take it home. Now we had one Brannigan's bakery, or I think they just changed their name to Panaderia, but they do they do all kind of stuff. But the first time I met them, they did the toy drive, and they brought me like a loaf of the pumpkin bread. I think that's what it was called. It's like the banana nut bread, but it was pumpkin. And they brought me that and even gave me $20 and were like, hey, thank you for everything. We loved it. We appreciate it. I was like, yo. And I took it home and ate. I was like, yo, this is delicious. So now it just, things like that make me want to work with you even more now, because there's a thought that comes into that.
Yeah, and honestly, a thank you email goes a long way.
Yeah.
So I don't always hit that mark, but I certainly try to, just being transparent. I certainly try to just let some people know, like, hey, thank you so much for having me as a vendor. I really appreciate it. I had a good time. I really respect those organizers who, like, are asking for feedback. They'll send out a form like, hey, can we get some feedback? I love that, because that tells me that I want to work with you again because you're open to making it better.
Exactly.
And I love that. Like, there are some folks that it's like, yeah, there's some room to grow here. There's definitely room to grow here.
So I have a group chat on Instagram with 60 plus vendors from, just pretty much Houston area and all kinds. So with them, they get first dibs on, I'll announce it there before I put it on Instagram. I'm like, hey, look, I'm doing this event. If you want to sign up, let me know. But after an event, I'll be like, hey, thank you guys so much that were there. If there's anything that we can do to get better at this, please let us know.
Love that.
And because I want to know, I want to I want them to come back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I worked with an organizer once where it was, we paid our vendor fee, and then we were told we had to promote the event. And I was like, okay, I mean, I'm going to share because I want my people to know where we're going to be. But at the same time, I was like, I'm already paying. So the promotion is kind of your job. But I said, okay, no problem. I'll do it.
But in what way? Okay, so that's always a kind of a thought that I have, right? Because I see sometimes some vendors don't really post so we do where everybody gets their own individual flyer. Because like I said in the interview with Nicole, I hate when they throw all the vendor logos on one flyer. Like,
how are you gonna see that?
I go on there, I'm like, they all look the same. They all look the same. Like,
you're like, who is this?
I'm like this, pinching the screen to see, like, yo, who is that? Like, who's gonna be there? Because I can't tell, and I hate that. And again, I'll never stop saying that because I don't like that.
I agree.
Especially if everybody's paying an individual fee. Like, bro, come on, you can make them their own flyer. But irregardless, sometimes I don't see them, posting or sharing. Because I think I would, and then I think, well, it's my job to bring, I'm the organizer. I'm the, it's dependent on me.
Yeah.
But also on the flip side, you as a business, you would think you're following, like, hey, look, if you're not doing anything, come through, get you, I'll be here selling products. So it's kind of a, like a, I don't know what you call it, but just. It can really go both ways, but you're absolutely right. It's my job as an organizer to have the people there.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, I can, I'm already paying.
Yeah.
I'm already bringing my product or service as a business to your business, right? As a guest, think about it, right? So if you're asking me to come to the party, where's the people?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I'm helping. Now, don't get me wrong. I also want to promote. Just like, when I was asking you, like, hey, can we come up with something? Because I want to advertise the fact that I'm here, and I want to be able to tell our people, we're doing podcasts. We're out here doing brand awareness. Yeah. So I'm always going to cross promote. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. But then, it's also the organizers who don't follow us. Yeah. Or don't create that page, don't put up a logo. And it's like, well, technically, I paid for my space, right? So that is me. That's an even exchange, I think. But then promotion has to be an even exchange as well, I think. Yeah. And so when that doesn't happen, it's like, well, that's disappointing. I'm still gonna do my part, but it's like
one of the things I did, I think, last year at Embrace.
And sorry to interrupt. No, these extra high vendor market fees. I saw someone advertise to me about $480 to share a table.
To share a table? Man.
Listen, I can't knock nobody's pricing. This is your price. I ain't gonna fight with nobody about their price. I just know it's not a good fit for me. And then it was like $600 for your own table. And I was like, wow, like that is. I've seen some numbers up to $2,000. It's pretty.
All this is shocking to me, honestly. I mean, I was shocked when I saw $100 pricing. I was like $100.
$150 about average.
I'm like, I'm lowballing myself. Like I gotta jack my price because I've had vendors tell me like, oh man, your prices are cheap. And I was like, damn, do I need it? But so I think like I want you to win too.
That's the difference.
That's it. I just want I want to see you win. So when you sell out, I love hearing that. Or I did well. I did really good. I appreciate you. Cool. Not a problem. Hey, let's run it back. Let's do it again, the next time. Because we don't really throw events like that anyway. We do three events a year. We actually might be adding some more next year. But it's hell organizing it. Having to do the artists and the vendors and all that stuff. But no, we have a lot of good people that we know that are vendors and business, all these small businesses. I love seeing, them flourish, So I think
that's the difference. And you can always tell when an organizer is trying to make money or they are just, because I've also been in situations where I paid my vendor fee and then I was put in the corner.
Wow.
So placing matters too. Like there's so many different factors. That's why ebook is coming because it's a lot of layers.
That's a good point. Because the way I do mine, and some people don't like it, and I get it. I don't, but hey, that's just it works for me. First come, first serve. You show up when you're supposed to, you get to pick where you want to set up at. If you're late, you probably gonna be somewhere in the back or somewhere in the corner, somewhere where not many people are gonna see you. Whatever, but that's on you because people show up late. Because I feel like when you assign spaces, they can then show up when they want. And then set up because their space is already, set.
Given, right. So I can also say, if I may, I have been to vendor markets too as a skincare company, and I've walked in and they're like 8 other skincare companies.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, mind you, if you have this huge space and you can separate us, fabulous. So that's where, if you think about, I guess, assigning, is that you can give people the opportunity where there's not a whole bunch of skincare companies next to each other or companies that are alike. And you can at least put them on the opposite side of the road.
So we had that with, I think it was Embrace the Culture. We had maybe 4 michelada vendors, but when they got, and they all kind of got there at the same time, so I would put one here, and we would tell them, like, I know you want to pick your own spot, but look, hey, just because we already have someone doing micheladas, so we have it kind of like almost like a square. So we put one here, one there, one over here, and then one on this side.
And
that way you're all
customers.
separated. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it helps, traffic and, flow.
Man, I know we could talk about this subject all day.
All day.
There's a bunch of stuff. But
so
y'all stay
layers.
tuned for the ebook. When is that coming out?
Oh, man, I'm working on it slowly because, I have other things happening. But I want to, everything I do is very intentional. Especially when it comes to my professionalism, my business, my career, I'm very intentional. So I'm going to have to read it over, and I already have someone for the forward. But yeah, I actually am going to have the ebook and then be able to provide lessons as well. Like there's some folks that, because there's so many layers, right? The art of the sale, customer service, traffic, display, vetting, working with with organizers, right? Like there are certain questions that I ask from the gate. I want to be set up for success. And so I have these questions that are going to do that, so I don't have to bother you the day of. And that's how I present it.
Have you ever worked with organizers that don't want to be bothered with the questions?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love it. I'm when they come to me, they be like, "Sorry to bother." It's not a bother. Matter of fact, here's my number. If you need to call me and talk and ask me anything,
right,
we can do that, because I want you, like you said, when you come the day of the event, all you gotta do is set up.
Yeah.
And do your thing.
That's it.
And I don't have to, and again, and I tell them as well, if you need, because so we have a team for our events, and then one of the things we do, and again, y'all can take this idea, organizers, please do. We all go around to each vendor, introduce ourselves, thank them for being there, and that if there's anything they need, just holler at one of us. Because I'm always running around the day of an event. I'm, from the stage to the vendors to wherever. But I'm like, if you need anything, just please call. So we want to provide the best experience possible for you guys.
That's great that you do that.
I mean, so we got all this going on. You got so much going on. I love what you got going on. Everything looks so professional that I see, and I'm sure it's not just the looks. I'm sure it is professional. But the presentation, it means a lot.
A lot of people think that that I don't actually do this.
Really?
They think that we're like Mary Kay, like Mary Kay.
Oh, like you're selling someone else's
resell.
product.
Yeah, they think that my stuff is resell, but I'm like, I have to tell them, like, no, this is handcrafted. I've done everything. I've designed the labels, designed the banners, the entire boutique itself, the graphic designs. I don't care to do content, but I have, like we were saying before, I have to do it, right? It's part of the business. But no, it's truly woman owned. Truly.
I want to give you your flowers and say that I love all of that. I think there's nothing like actual ownership of a product. Yeah, you can do the resale, you can do the buying from someone else, and resell.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Like it fits for some folks. If it's for a lot of people, obviously.
Yeah, because that's obviously so many people do it.
Yeah, it's just a different model.
What you're doing is much harder. But and not that I've done it or no, but I know it's that much harder, because you have to literally create everything ground up. And so that's very admirable, and I don't know if there's anything else that we haven't touched on that you want to bring up right now. Just let me know. We'll
I think I want to say that there's a lot of great skin and beard care companies out there. We also collaborate with some, and then whenever I meet someone who is in a skin, in this business, I constantly support them, and they support me as well, and I love that. But I will say what sets us apart at Virago Lux Skincare is integrity. I am very thoughtful about what is in our products, how they're presented, and it's really one of those things where if it's not organic, then it's just we can't do it, right? And so with everything that I've been able to do in this business, and I think this is why you know, my colleagues and other entrepreneurs see that is because I try to be as genuine as possible with everything that I do, right? And I say as possible because sometimes I can go, I'm like, I don't want to be super like professional. I still have to be me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm still a girl from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So finding that balance. But what sets us apart, I think, as a skin and beard company is because we are constantly doing everything with integrity and respect first.
But I love that you said that the whole you know, you still got to be you, because I'm the same way. And I think that's what attracts other people and businesses to us is the fact that, oh, it's not a robot. You know, it's not just some person that's, you know, displaying or being a certain way because, like, nah, I'm me, man. Like Northside, Houston, Texas, you know, I'm still gonna be me, you know. But I do. So coming from like the hood or whatever you want, the streets or whatever, right? It is finding that line, that balance of being professional and still not letting that north side or that Brooklyn out of you sometimes when it wants to come out.
Okay. Oh, it comes out sometimes. It has to.
Oh, some people felt that already. Yeah. Nah, I understand. No, trust me.
Yes, I mean, as a business owner, you're constantly representing your brand.
Correct.
Right. So you have to, I mean, decorum and all that. Yeah. Right. And plus, you know, I've been a professional I've been working since I'm 14 years old, and I'm gonna be 43 this year. So I've been working a long time, and I've been in leadership for over 15 years. So you have to have decorum, right? Yeah. But then at the same time, when people want to touch you, it's like, oh no.
Don't get it twisted. We can go there if you want.
Right.
But you don't want that. So, yeah.
It's that.
I'm glad I hadn't gotten to that point yet. Or I was able to be like, you know what? I'm just going to. So one of the things that I do, and this is with anybody, if they were attached to me at one point, and then we decide to split or whatever, right? I leave them alone, and then and I hate saying this, but it's like a lot of them now are not doing actually anything. And I don't want to say it was because of me that they were, you know, but to a certain extent being around us, the brand, what we got going on, because we're still here, we're still growing, we're thriving. Actually, we're doing better than we were. It's like we get better as we just keep going, you know, and so. I understand, trust me, and I'd rather just walk away from a situation than to kind of just do the back and forth thing with everybody. Because you know,
it's not worth
messy.
It these days. You know, just honestly, I've in the past just given people what they wanted just to stop. You know, because I'm not gonna go back and forth with you. This is ridiculous. And then you know, I have so many things going on. You know what I mean? Like, why am I entertaining this? Like, you want what you want here. Here you go.
I'm glad you said that because I'm the same way. I'm like, look, and I tell people, I'm like, yo, I got too much going on to be worried about what any of that. You know, obviously they don't have anything going on, so they want to create this.
Y'all got time. Yeah. I got the same time.
You can have it. You know, whatever you want to say about me, whatever. I'm gonna just keep doing what I'm doing. You know, it's.
But I was gonna say too, like, you know, you said that they, you know, those folks may not be doing the same things, and I'm gonna say this to all the business owners who are wishing to be business owners. It is very hard work. I don't say that to deter anyone, but you have to have the mental stamina to be an entrepreneur. That means, you know, you work your 9 to 5, you work your 8 hours and maybe a little overtime, and you're gonna get that check every week, every 2 weeks, whatever. It's gonna be there. And you can take off and it's not a problem. Yeah. But when you are an entrepreneur, you can work 20 hours straight and still not get that money that comes in. Yeah. And you really wanted it. And and since we were talking about vendor markets, there's been times where I'm like, oh, I know I'm gonna make this bread. I just know. And I have counted and I whatever gonna pay. I went ahead and and it didn't happen. Yeah. And so when you think about those things, like that's the mental stamina that you need. And then it's, you know, all of this time that you took to create and edit this reel and you got 2 likes. Yeah. And then you still have to continue to post and you still got to show up. Yeah. And you know, one thing I always have to remind myself, because I had a very long night last night, but I had a very long day today. Yeah. And it's fine. I loved everything that I'm doing today, right? Of course. But I looked at Sean last night and I said, damn, I'm really tired. Maybe I could sleep in. I said, you know what? No. I said, if I can get up at 6 a.m., for my full-time job, I can get up at 6 a.m. for Virago.
Yeah.
Because if you ask me to be somewhere, I'm going to show up.
Yeah.
I'm going to show up. I'm going to be there. So I have to take that same tenacity into my own business. Well, that's not easy.
Yeah, and you brought up the integrity part. When I say I'm going to be somewhere, I'm going to be there. I don't care if I'm tired or not, because there's been times where I do have a long day, and I'm like, damn, I got to get up the next day, and I got all this to do. Well, I already said I was going to be there, because sometimes my wife would be like, well, why don't you just stay? Just don't go. And I'm like, no, I already said I was going to go. And
got to be a person of your word.
Got to be a person, because without that, what do you have?
And then people tend to think that because you're an entrepreneur, like you said earlier, like your time is your own.
Yeah.
And when you get to a certain level, perhaps it will be, right? Perhaps it is. But then when you're at a point where you are building and you are scaling, your time isn't your own.
Nope.
It isn't. So, and then your word is so much more important.
Correct.
When you say, like you said, if I said I'm going to be there, I got to be there.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I don't want to be seen as unreliable, because I'm not unreliable. Now, if I literally just can't, I'm going to tell you in advance. You know what I mean?
Understandable.
If I'm going to be late, I'm going to tell you, hey, I'm going to be 20 minutes late. But I'm not going to tell you when I'm supposed to be there. I'm going to tell you way in advance. It looks like I'm going to be late.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing.
And I get that.
It's important.
Communication, just that. It's just communication. And again, you're sick or on emergency. And because I've had that where people are like, oh, I'm sorry. Hey, man, look, it's cool. I understand. I'm glad you told me.
Yeah.
Because I've had they didn't tell me, and I'm, where you at?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot this, and I'm just like, that makes me not want to work with you ever again, because my time is precious. Like our time is precious, especially when you've been doing something else, even if it meant just staying home and resting. So so that's another thing that people need to take into consideration. Yeah, just be transparent.
I do want to ask you.
Yes.
Please tell me, how did you come up with ThemDamnMexicans? I have been sitting here bothering my head. I'm like, what is? I was looking. I have to hear this story.
So this was 15 years ago.
Okay.
With MySpace days. You used to be able, if you were an artist, you could have your own music page.
That's right. That's right.
So there was a young guy. He's about my sister's age, so about 43. His music came across my page somehow, and I was like, man, this dude is dope. So I reached out to him, and mind you, I had no idea about managing an artist or anything, but I offered him, hey, let me manage you, and RIP to Big Jerv. He passed about 10 years. I think it's been 10 years now that he passed, but he said, yeah, that's cool, let's do it. So I remember being in my apartment one night, and I was like, I gotta find a name for my management company. So I'm sitting around thinking, and then I literally heard, like, in my head, a white woman say, ThemDamnMexicans. And I, I told him, I said, I think I got my name, them, and he laughed. He's like, I got you. And he created the logo that you actually see now on my sweater.
Yeah.
And we decided to just keep it like that. Then it became one of those where, like, we wanted to take something that was like a negative, something that was negative into a positive, like, okay, ThemDamnMexicans doing their thing. I mean, some people call me ThemDamn when they see me, ThemDamnMexicans, or TDM,
Yeah.
Because they'll be like, how you want us to call it? Man, it don't matter. Like, David, So yeah, that's pretty much how it came up, and I just stuck with it.
That's dope.
Yeah, so
that's dope.
Now everything is that TDM talk, ThemDamnMexicans talk. We try to, and we got some other things coming out. I can't announce because it ain't set yet, but everything is just branding, putting the brand out there. Like, I love when people tell me, hey, I seen somebody with your sweater, I seen somebody with your shirt, or a beanie or a hat, or they'll take pictures and say, no, somebody was wearing your shirt. Now with the podcast, I was just at an event last night, and a friend of mine that I knew from, like, Little League, he's a couple years older than I am. He was just like, yo, man, it's so dope seeing you. He's like, I'm not even on social media. He's like, but I follow you on YouTube, and I be seeing all the stuff you do. And he was like, let's take a picture. And I was like, man, chill out, bro. He goes, no, you're famous. And I was like, no, just stop.
That's nice.
But, it was like, we took the picture, and it's crazy because he was someone I looked up to because he was a great baseball player. And of course, he was one of the older guys, so we looked up to those guys because, like, man, these guys can really ball. But it's been a good journey so far. I love it.
I have to admit, I appreciate you even having me on because, and I did look around because someone had asked me to, like, ThemDamnMexicans, but you're not Mexican. I was like, So
Yeah.
that doesn't matter.
That doesn't
And I
matter.
looked around and I was like, because at first I was like, does it matter? And I looked around and I was like, no, it doesn't matter.
So people ask me that. People will hit me up and be like, I had one guy one day who was like, I guess he had followed me and I must have missed it because sometimes my notifications be just crazy and I'll miss someone following me. And so he DMs me and he's like, "What? Do you only follow Mexicans? You don't follow black people?" And I was like, "Wait,
Oh
what?
my
Like, where
God.
did that come?" I was like, "Nah, bro. I just must have missed it when you
Right.
did follow. Like, I didn't know. Like, my bad. I got you. You know, or whatever." He, of course, jokingly, but you know, and then people will ask me, you know, like, "Yo, dude," but I mean, uh, as a lot of my friends that are black have worn the shirt, you know, and white people, you know, and they're like, man, we get these looks, man, and sometimes they'll, you know, like, why are you wearing that, you know, and it's
Right.
like, no, it's a friend
In
of mine's
support
brand.
of, right,
yeah.
right.
They're like, oh, okay, oh, well, you're cool with us then, you know, and it's one of them things. But yeah, we open our doors. I mean, it's them damn Mexicans, but you know, if you're 100, hey, we'll rock with you. We'll support
I
you.
mean, listen, I'm Boricua, right? I'm Puerto
Hey,
Rican. We
there
all
you
the
go.
same. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
we're all brown, black and brown. You know what I mean?
One of my closest friends, Cuban, you know, Cuban Diva. She's an artist, you know, like she's Cuban. The guy that does my artwork, he's Salvadorian, you know. So we all won at the end of the day. So before we get out of here, any
Sure.
last shout outs?
I would just say thank you very much for having me. You know, it was like really quick process. You know, we just got on the phone, chat, and said, let's do it. So I appreciated that.
I think that was the first time that's ever happened where, you know, someone wanted to actually speak to me which is cool. I loved it because we actually had a great conversation.
Yeah.
And, you know, I felt like, okay, now that we're going to do this, you know, it's been a great conversation. I appreciate you. We got to do a part 2 at some point.
I would love to.
I want to do the live audience one with you. I wanted to do one with
Please.
Nicole as well, but I think the week that I had picked, which is spring break, I didn't realize it was spring break. But she's like, oh, I'll be out of town. I'm like, damn. I'm like, okay, you know what? We'll set it up. Because I'm only doing them once a month right now.
Okay.
So March is already set. So maybe in April, we'll
I
have
would
both
love
you guys
that.
come down, you know? And I think that'll be dope.
Yeah.
Turn it
that's
into
my
a
girl.
party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my girl. Shout out to her, by the way.
Yeah,
So,
shout out to her.
Nicole, Houston Hotties, you know, that's my girl. And what I appreciate about her so much is that she is much like what you were saying. Like, she just wants to see people win.
Yeah.
And you can feel that, right? And you can feel that in people. And that's why I said with organizers, you can tell. Just people in general, really. You can tell when someone is really genuine, they want to see you win.
Correct.
So I really appreciate her. And gosh, so many. And then, of course, I want to give Sean a shout out. You know, that's my person. And he is always supporting me in some kind of way, in his quiet way, you know.
Yeah.
And I have 2 publications coming out where I was featured in 2 magazines. And so that should be coming out pretty soon. I'm excited about that. I'm going to be sitting on the products that we have now.
Okay.
And then, the ebook, I'm going to be working on that. And just trying to do more podcasts, you know, more panel discussions, you know, do some brand awareness, or, you know, a lot of media. I'm trying to do some more of that stuff.
I got you. I'm going to connect you with some people.
I appreciate that. Yeah. And I love to do it. So, and I have it all on my website, you know, so you can see some of that stuff, everybody. My website, by the way.
We'll put a link in the description where they can go follow the Instagram page, go to the website, click the link on the website, buy you something, support.
Yes.
Tell her you saw her on TDM Talk, you know.
Yes.
And again,
This is for you, by the way.
for me. Oh, thank you so much.
Some beard care for you.
Okay, thank you.
Open
thank
it,
you.
smell,
I'm
peruse, all the things.
I'm definitely going to use this. I'm going to do a video to it too.
Please.
To help her. Oh, it smells so good from here. Man. Guys, make sure you guys go follow her. Link in the description. Again, go buy something. You know, y'all be seeing her again soon. You know, we're going to do a live audience podcast. So if you're watching this and you want to, you know, come, you know, check her out live in person, we'll set it up. Y'all will see the flyer for that one for sure. And again, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button, drop a comment, all that good stuff. Engage. You know, I respond to everybody on there.
Love it.
It's tough, but it's kind of hard sometimes. But you know, we got to do it. Part of the job, right?
That is part of the job.
So again, thank you for your time. It was a very amazing conversation that I actually want to continue again. Just like with Nicole, you know, I told her the same thing. I said, man, I love when we have great conversations, especially when it's something that can benefit people that watch this.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, why not? So, again, on that note, we guys, thank you for watching, and we are Them Damn Mexicans and Boricuas.